What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live. Why am I so zoomed in on? I do not like this. But I'll try to deal with it. I'm not really going to mess with it too much. Let's see. That all looks good. Let's see. All right, guys. This stream is going to be a little bit different, I think, from what I normally. Okay, I guess we're just completely zoomed in on now. Fit the screen. There we go. Fixed it. All right, so this stream is just going to be a little bit different, I think. I got to stand up for this. I got to stand up for the issue that I'm going to bring up. Okay. All right, guys. There's a couple of issues that I want to bring up because with this POTS channel, right? I really do try my best to be objective and to help and to do what I think is the good thing to do, right? Which is just helping, giving out free information, all these different things. But there is a big problem that I want to bring up that I think really impacts a lot of people's ability to actually get better in POTS, with POTS, and so I'm going to try my best to be very sensitive and very, I've done videos like this before. I don't know how useful they are and how unuseful they are. But I'm going to read a comment. And I know that you, the person who made the comment, is probably watching or going to watch. And so I'm not going to just call people out for the sake of calling out. I'm not even going to mention the person's name. I'm just going to, again, be super objective about the whole situation and what happened. All right, this person decided to come on to one of my videos and tell me about how they can understand now why people don't believe that I have POTS syndrome. And the reason is because I am, I guess, super dismissive towards anything that I don't agree with. Now, this to me is a big issue to bring up, especially on a channel where I give out a bunch of free information. I try to help as many people as possible. I have a ton of POTS clients that I work with. And the video was me talking about why I believe that strength training and building muscle is very important for recovery with POTS. And all that I said, you guys can go and watch it, is that the CHOPS protocol and all these other protocols, they help people very acutely. But here's my take on why they don't help long term. And then I gave the physiological reasoning for what I believe to be true. Now, it's not dismissing that CHOPS works. It's not dismissing that some people do find long-term benefit from the CHOPS protocol. I think that I'm very clear in that video about I have had people, and if I wasn't very clear, here it is. I've had a lot of people, more than haven't, come to me that have tried the CHOPS protocol, the Levine protocol, and not find long-term success. It's part of the reason that they come to me is because they're looking for something else. People with POTS tend to be desperate. People with POTS tend to have tried a gazillion things. People with POTS tend to want to get better. And so they'll do what it takes to get better when they're at the point of actually wanting to do whatever it takes to get better. And that takes a long time for a lot of people with POTS. And so this comment, I'm not going to lie, really did bother me. And so, but it's because I can understand now why people think you don't have POTS. And I go, why is that? You are super dismissive to anything you don't believe in. And no one I have met who identifies with POTS is that certain of their beliefs. Interesting. There's an interesting little bit in there because he says that identifies with POTS. You don't identify with POTS. You either have it or you don't. And it is that cut and dry. It's like saying that I identify with having, or somebody identifies with having cancer. You either have it or you don't. And there are tests to figure it out. And you can even test it at home. And I've said that before. I've never been dismissive about like people who tested themselves at home, have the actual symptoms, have done the laying down to standing heart rate test or blood pressure test. I've never been dismissive about that. And then I say, can you name something that this is true about? What exactly have I been, or was I dismissive of? I don't believe I was dismissive of anything in this live. I gave my opinion of order of importance. That's exactly what I did. I think disagreeing and being dismissive are two things. You don't believe in different types of POTS subgroups and honestly don't care about how it affects people differently. This is just a misnomer, and it's crazy that he would even say that I don't care about how it affects people differently. To be quite frank, let me be very clear. I have not seen literature confirming or denying that there are subgroups of different POTS. I've never seen the literature showing the mechanism that you can for sure determine what kind of person or what kind of POTS each individual person has. What I mean by that is I have never seen a test, and I could be wrong. Here's the thing, I could be wrong, but I've never seen any scientific data that's been like, based on these tests, we have determined this. It's always based on symptomology from what I've seen. Now, if I'm wrong, leave a link in the chat, leave a link in my comments, and I'll be happy to go over and read it. But to say this thing about like, I don't care how it affects people differently, are you part of my practice? Do you know do you know what questions I ask people about what symptoms they have, and based on the symptoms, what we do differently per person? This is just grossly like, I don't know how to explain it, right? And it's interesting because I don't treat every single client the same. I don't treat them all as if they're all just this one group of people that have POTS. I may have said before in the past that like, I don't know about hyperandrogenic POTS or whatever it is. I don't know that it's like a really a big deal because but the reason for that is because every single person that I have had as a client with POTS, it always comes down to the same stuff. It always does. But how we get there may be different. How we start may be different. How we end even might be different. But it always comes down to the same stuff. Lifestyle. Changing your lifestyle. That does not mean by any means that everybody is given the same prescription, in quotes, right? Prescription as in terms of like, if the same thing goes for like if somebody's histamine intolerant, I'm not going to give them a bunch of high intensity interval training because that releases a lot of histamine. People who are histamine intolerant or have MSAS problems with that type of stuff, they don't tend to do well with high intensity interval training in the beginning. They don't tend to do well with intervals in general. Usually long form steady state cardio is the way to do it. So to say this thing that like, I don't care how it affects people is completely out of turn. Like you have no idea. You have no idea how I talk to, or, how I talk to each individual person or how I set them up on a program. So that does bother me. And it bothers me because publicly, I'm public. You're not public. So I'm going to keep it G with you guys. I put myself out there. I'm being public, and you're trying to ruin my practice, basically. You're trying to ruin the way that I actually help people. And it's like, if I didn't care, why would I put this stuff out there for free? Now, herein lies the actual issue. Why this is a problem for the POTS community at large. Okay. And what the problem is this person when we go down the comments, when we go down and down and down the comments, it just proves, oh, and apparently there's deleted comments from this person too. It just proves how sensitive and subjective the experiences of these people are, and of the majority of POTS people. Look, dude, I've been here before. I've been in every single one of your guys' shoes before. Maybe not the people who are like immobile and things, but I have been in your position where the world feels like it's ending and things are just not looking up. And, you know, having these thoughts of like, you know, having the bad mindset, the scarcity mindset, like I'm never going to get better. I've been there before. I have been there, but I've also been here where I'm at, right? And so just because I have a certain viewpoint of how to handle POTS and like the mindset that I take doesn't mean that I have never had it before. I'm on the other side, and I realize a lot of the holes that I had in the first place had to do with the way that I thought about things rather than the actions that I took. Because a lot of it comes down to, what is your mindset like? Because if you don't have a good mindset, you're not going to take action. That's always how it is with almost everything. You need to be prepared to take action, and you need to be prepared to be objective about the situation. Okay, from being objective on the situation, what do I do now? What do I do now? But it just proves how sensitive the majority of POTS people are. And I get stuff like this all the time. It's more so I get more positive comments than comments like this. But it's my opinion that the POTS community is just so sensitive, and that everything needs to be validated. All feelings need to be validated. Everything that you go through needs to be validated. At least that's what people think. And in my opinion, not all your feelings need to be validated, because your feelings can be wrong. The thoughts that you have can be wrong. You don't need to identify with your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. What you need to do is be objective about what you're going through. What is actually happening? Are people actually like targeting me? Are people actually being mean to me? Or are they telling me things that I don't like to hear, that I don't want to hear? Are they talking from their experience? But in the POTS community, again, everything needs to be validated. And it's just not true. Talk to my clients. I do not validate everything that they say. Because if I do, how am I supposed to help them? How am I supposed to help you if I'm going to validate every single thing that you say? I can't. I cannot be the objective person in the situation. Then I should not be your coach. If I can't be objective about it, I should not be your coach. And you can't be objective about it with validating everything that everybody says. Now you can validate their feelings. I'm sorry that you feel really bad about this. I'm sorry that you feel this way about this, but let's be objective for a second. Your data says otherwise. So are you able to do these things, or are you really not? Your data says you can, or subjectively you feel a certain way, but the data says this. And so a lot of people with POTS, it's the validation cycle, right? That keeps you held back. Everything that you feel, everything that you say, you just want people to agree with you. And probably because a lot of times when you go to the hospital or you go to the doctors, you tell them this, that, the third, right? You tell them all these things, they don't validate you. And that sucks. And I've been there, and I've been told like it's anxiety. I've gone through all that, you guys. I've gone through all that. But it doesn't come from a malicious place for the most part. For the most part, it's like they notice that you are anxious, and you are anxious when you go to the hospital. You just had a symptom that's really scary. You went through something that's really scary. So you are anxious. And I'm sorry, but the emergency room is not the place to get diagnosed with POTS. The emergency room is a place to make sure that you're not dying. And so they make sure that you're not dying, and then you're free to go. That's what it is. That's the objective truth about the emergency room. Getting diagnosed with POTS is done through different practitioners. It's not done there. And so, and me being on the other side of POTS, that's not me dismissing you. That's me telling you the truth about how the system works, especially in America, how the medical system works. My girlfriend works in the hospital. She's a PA. She's a physician's assistant. The hospital is not for you. They need to figure out, is there an emergent situation happening? Even though you feel that it's emergent, it may not be emergent. It's emergent to you. You want to know what's going on. You want to know what's wrong. That doesn't mean that you're dying. It doesn't mean you're actively dying. And it's not their job to figure that out. Their job is to save people from dying. Now, is that dismissing you or not validating you? No, it's not, because that's not their job. Their job is to make sure you're safe and you're okay to go home. And then they send you home. And if you need a referral, then they'll do that. So the problem is, again, to reiterate, like, that the community at large, not everybody, a lot of the people that I work with understand this. And a lot of people that come and email me and talk to me understand this. Validating every single one of your feelings and trying to make everybody validate all your feelings is not going to change your situation. It's going to make it worse. You're going to feel hopeless. But if you have people out there that are going to tell you the truth and be objective about the situation, about what's going on with you, you're going to get better. As long as you take the steps necessary and you take that mindset of, okay, I need to be objective. I need to do the things necessary. I need to get hydrated. I need to take my fitness seriously. I cannot just sit in this couch anymore and cry about my life. And you're welcome to do that if you want to do that. You're welcome to. It doesn't do anything to me. But I'm here for the people that want to get better. I'm not here for you. You're not my audience if you want everything validated. You're not my audience that I'm looking for. If you want to if you don't want to take massive action right away, that you're not who I'm speaking to. And that's okay. And I'm also okay with you not being here and not watching my channel and not subscribing, because I want to actually help people. And it's not me being dismissive by saying this is my experience with the majority of people that I work with that have whatever type of POTS, every single POTS. It's not me being dismissive saying that it comes down to food, sleep, recovering, and fitness. Those are very broad statements. Fitness means different things for different people. Fitness programs are different for different people. Sleep is different for different people. Some people might need 6 hours. Some people might need 8. Some people might need 9. Some people might need 5. Food and how people approach food may be different for everyone. It's not dismissive to say these things. And it's also not dismissive to say this stuff is what health comes down to. They're objective fact. Muscle is the organ of longevity. Period. There's a bunch of research on it. If you want, a book that I would recommend is, I think it's Stronger by Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. Let me see what the book is. Dr. Gabrielle. Oh, Forever Strong. Forever Strong. She breaks down, it's a new science-based strategy for aging well. She breaks down the science behind why muscle is the organ of longevity, why you should be very concerned with the amount of muscle that you retain throughout the years as you age. Diet, we all know, has a big role in chronic illness at large. If you talk about autoimmune disease, diet is one of the driving factors for getting better from autoimmune disease and getting sick with autoimmune disease. Gut health is very important. Sleep, recovery, rest, recover. It's a nervous system disorder. Well, you think that sleep is like a subjective experience? It's not an objective fact that you need good quality sleep? Hydration. There's so much data on it, and it's not dismissive to tell people that you're not drinking enough water, you're not properly hydrating. There's a bunch of data on that for people with POTS. And the spectrum is very big. And it's not dismissive of me to say, in my experience, 3,000 milligrams of supplemental sodium, as long as it's accompanied by other trace minerals and electrolytes, seems to be a good place for people to be. It's not dismissive of me to say something like that. It's from the experience of working with clients. So again, the reason why this bothers me is because I want people to get better. I want to help people. I really want people to feel good and thrive and be healthy. But again, in my experience, it cannot happen with these freaking self-serving, self-righteous mindsets of boo-hoo, woe is me, validate everything that I feel and everything that I say. It just doesn't work like that. Anybody who has worked with me and been through my program, if they have thought like that, it just hasn't worked out. There's a direct correlation between people shifting their mindset and getting better on my program and having a negative mindset and not getting better. And it's probably not exclusive to my program either. It's probably also with the CHOPS protocol. If you don't feel like going to the gym, you have a negative mindset, oh, this isn't working, blah, blah, all these different things, you're going to be less likely to go and do the things that are going to help you. So it's not just exclusive to me and what I do. We got some like pecking birds on our house. So look, I don't want to come on here and like badger the POTS community. I don't want to like continue to even talk about the POTS community in a negative light. There are a lot of really positive people in the community. There's a lot of people doing good. I personally think, sadly though, however, there is a loud majority of people that just don't want to get their shit together. And it's like, it's from experience, guys. It's not like from me just being like, you know, just like making it up. It's like, I've talked to hundreds of people. So this comment that this guy said, that he's never talked to anybody that identifies with POTS, whatever that means, that they're so sure in their beliefs. I'm not sure in my beliefs either. That's why they're beliefs. And I have been able to discern these things based on the population and the amount of people that I have worked with. If I have ever been presented with data that says otherwise, I'm more than willing to change my mind. But I just haven't had that experience. And you saying your experience isn't going to outweigh my experience with 15 other people that have your hyperandrogenic POTS and the 15 other people that had this POTS and then the 20 other people that had this POTS. It's not going to change based off of your experience. It's going to change over. You got to show me some proof, some data, and then I can figure out why the things that I say have been working or why the things that I've been telling people to do work because of the data, or you got to get me a bigger sample size. So again, I don't want to make this again about like shitting on the POTS community or like making the POTS community, you know, demonized or anything like that. But I had to get this out of the way, and I felt like I had to make this video, this live. And not just because of that, but also because I do want to say that if people feel like I've been dismissive, I am sorry for that, but that's not my intent. And I don't think that I've actually done that. I think that people have, rightfully so, like emotional attachment to what they've gone through. And then they hear something that's completely different about what they feel and what they believe, and they don't like that. And I'm sorry if I haven't communicated it in a proper way for you. I don't think that's really my job to appease the mob. I don't think that's my job. I think my job is to put the truth out there, that the truth that I have come to see and realize. And then if there is other data, or if I am wrong, then it's your job to show me that, you know, and it, to be honest with you, if I am wrong and you send me the stuff, you're helping. I'm one of the only POTS creators out there with a YouTube channel like this. So you'd just be helping people at large. And I would more than appreciate that. All right. So now that that's done, yeah, I've come to the conclusion that I will be making pots videos still, some pots videos, but not really that many or that often. I want to, because of what I have experienced with pots, I want to make this channel more about overall health and wellness and chronic illness, or like finding true health, because I find that a lot of the people that I've worked with pots, a lot of the recommendations that I make are very general recommendations that have to do with just normal health, like do an elimination diet, do that for X amount of weeks. Do your symptoms go away? Are they slowly starting to get better? Okay, when you get to the point where you feel like you can handle food again, slowly bring in food. Here are some supplements that I recommend for you. You know, all these things. But I want to have a broader brush basically to paint with. And I'm very passionate about exercise phys, exercise science, and very passionate about like real health and wellness, and, you know, talking to different practitioners, different naturopaths, and, you know, all these different people in the space. So I think that being like with the goal of helping more people. All right. Love you. Good luck. I think that the goal, did you lock it? I think that with the goal of helping people in mind, helping more people in mind, I can't just like have this narrow box of pots. And I'm still willing to answer as many questions about pots as people have, but I'm definitely going to get a lot more broad with this with this channel, because I think that there's only so much that you can talk about with pots. I've talked about everything multiple times with pots, and I just don't see any more room for growth, to be honest with you, just focusing on pots. So painting with a broader brush and talking about chronic illness at large, talking to different practitioners, different people about chronic illness, where it stems from, all these different things, talking about exercise, and, you know, and giving explanations to why exercise does what it does, and, you know, how to structure programs. Like one of the videos I'm going to work on soon is how to structure a POTS workout program. What order things, in my opinion, not being dismissive, what is the order of importance, and how do you get there, and how do you know, like, so it's going to be a pretty, I don't want to say vague, but in depth, because that doesn't really work together. But it's going to be a broad idea of like how I would create an exercise program for somebody with POTS. That's basically what I'm looking to do. So yeah. I feel like I never come on here live without a hat or a headband on. You see this tan line? Oh my gosh, is it crazy? And this freaking temple vein that I have. I'm going to sit. Man, I miss Mick Saltsies, man. Miss Mick. Usually on the weekend is when we would do our freaking live together, but I don't know. I don't think he's available right now. And these lives always do way freaking better later on. They always do so much better after. I guess if they're a video or something. Funny story today. You guys might notice that this is a different boom arm. I've been having problems with my other one for like freaking weeks. It's just like I would always have to adjust the tightness or, whatever. And today I was adjusting the tightness and it just popped. It just freaking like, it was not popped. It was like, it was loose and then it was like getting looser when I was trying to tighten it. And then when I went the other way, it got looser again, obviously. And yeah, it just broke. I'm going to be totally real with you guys too real quick. What's funny about that comment that I got, what's pretty freaking funny, is the dude changed his YouTube channel name. He changed his YouTube channel name so that he could make that freaking comment. As if like I can't see it. It's hilarious. Like, dude, my phone gives me the notification of which YouTube channel you used initially to create the comment. That's hilarious. Oh, man. I went hard on the POTS content for like, I think, a month to 2 months, realizing that if I kept a certain formula in terms of like how many days a week I posted it, and, depending on the title and hashtags and, stuff like that, like tags and whatever, how fast it could grow. And so I did that. But now I'm realizing, to be honest with you, because one of the comments that I did leave back was, this is a prime example of why I'm going to stop creating POTS content. One of the comments was like, it's not that serious to delete your YouTube channel or whatever. I'm like, I'm far from deleting my YouTube channel, but I definitely do not want to be involved in this community exclusively if this is how it is. And that's true. I am, I'm very like, dude, I'm going to protect my peace. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to like, just like, I know it's the internet and whatever. I know it's the internet and I know that people are going to, no matter what, say things and all these different things, right? But like, I'm not just going to let people clown me for no reason, and I'm not going to like, I can see through the veil basically of the POTS community and, all these people that there's just so much when you've lived so much life and when you've coached as many people as I've coached and stuff, and you tend to have trends for things, right? Like, I know a certain type of client that comes into my gym with me. I know whether or not they're going to see results quickly, and it is what it is. I know whether or not that's going to happen, and the same thing with this. It's just, and by the way, a lot of people with POTS that I talk to feel the same way, that they don't want to be part of the POTS community because of all these issues. Like, they don't want to have a negative mindset. And that's part of the reason why they get off the Reddit forums. Or it's part of the reason why they stop looking at their heart rate monitor, their Apple Watch, or whatever they have, is because they don't want to live that way anymore. So it's not like this is just like, and by the way, too, they come to that conclusion before seeing me, or before talking to me. So it's not like I'm just on this like quest to just, completely destroy the community or anything like that. It's like, I have a way that I live, and some people resonate with it and some people don't. So. For you guys watching, did you get a notification for today? Like, I'm even looking at, like, I don't know, dude. I'm looking at the creators. Sugimoto, you got it by luck. Jeez. Like, I'm looking at one of the creators right now, and everything she posts, like, for the most part, a lot of like the titles that she makes are like so negative. The reality of self-care while ill, cleaning motivation for the chronically ill. I was terrified, but I finally did it. My experience with antidepressants. Um, trying viral Timu products with chronic illness. Is healing chronic illness even possible? And like every single one of her her thumbnails are always like sad. A day in my life with POTS, EDS, ADHD. I have Lyme disease. Everything hurts, but I'm used to it. Did I get scammed? No offense, but you do not have Lyme disease. A decade of sickness. I spent my entire 20s sick. Like, it's just, I don't know what is appealing about that. What is appealing about, concentrating on people that just focus on the negatives. There's some stuff here, like, I don't know, cleaning motivation for the chronically ill. I feel like that's kind of good. 10 job ideas for the chronically ill. That's very good. I think that's great. A huge Costco haul with POTS, EDS, fibro. That's great. This one cleaning hack keeps my house 10 times cleaner. But everything else just seems, yeah. What's interesting too, guys, what's super interesting about the chronic illness community, right? And like in POTS in general and all these people is like, she goes, I have EDS, I have ADHD, I have depression, I have chronic pain, I have what else does she say? I have POTS, I have the emotional of chronic illness is heavy, but you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it what? Alone. Okay. All these different things, right? She has like 10,000 different diagnoses, right? And I wonder if I'm like alone here, or if I just somehow feel like I'm just wonder if I'm alone here. I've said this before. You have like 20 different diagnoses and they're always changing. Like Lyme's disease with the other one, right? They're forever changing. How do you make a discernment of what's actually wrong with you? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And this is a big problem that I have with I know that I'm not the only one that thinks this way. I have this conversation with people a lot, actually. This is a big problem that I have with the medical industry and the medical system, right? Is that you get a million diagnoses for things that have cross symptomology. They have ADHD, foggy headedness, POTS syndrome, foggy headedness, inability to concentrate for both of those, even EDS, pain, POTS, fibromyalgia, mold toxicity. How do we ever get to the bottom of it? It's just like, it's wild. And I don't see how people don't see the trend between like, always wanting a new diagnosis and adding more things to the table. And like, could it be that there's one thing that's wrong with you and it is like, it's, I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. I don't even have the language for it. Sugimoto, people like to commiserate to feel like they aren't alone, but that's a trap that can send you into a spiral, coming from someone who has health anxiety and has fallen into rabbit holes. Yeah. I mean, same, Sugimoto, same. I spent a lot of time when I was younger, like early 20s to like mid 20s, going down rabbit holes on WebMD and on the internet and stuff. Not Reddit or anything like that, or any of these like POTS communities. To be honest with you, I did not know that they exist. I'm gonna keep it 100% transparent. Um, but yeah, I spent a lot of time being like, holy crap, something new is wrong with me. There's always something wrong with me. This isn't enough. The diagnosis that I've been given isn't enough. And I was told that I had ADHD, PTSD, depression, anxiety, all these different things. And then funny enough, I get POTS syndrome and all these different things. And, immediately they want to throw labels at you immediately, and they want to throw medications at you. And and again, I'm not the end all be all. I'm not like holier than thou or anything like that. But my question is why do we need all these labels for things? Why can't you just treat the symptoms? Why can't it just be why can't it just be that way? Why do we have to be told we have all these different things? And to be honest with you, I don't understand how the diagnoses give people more peace of mind. I Now that I'm on the other side of it, because I definitely was like, it felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders when I got POTS syndrome. But now being more on the other end, it's my brain goes to, why does it give us more peace of mind being told like you have POTS syndrome, you have fibromyalgia, all this stuff, if the symptoms are still there? I feel like personally, if you're told like, hey, your heart is really healthy, your lungs are really healthy, everything checks out, you're having these symptoms, this is what we can do for those symptoms. Why does there need to be a label? Why does that give people the validation that they need? I wonder why it did it for me. Sugimoto, speaking from personal experience, the diagnosis process is important if you're in a situation where you're in need of SSDI, disability. SSDI can be crucial in the recovery process. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, for sure. Like when it comes to financial things, absolutely. If you're out of work, blah, blah, blah. My point of contention, my question is like, why does it put people at ease mentally? Maybe that's part of it, because they know that they're going to be financially taken care of while they try to recover and all that stuff. I get that. I could get that for sure. It's helpful to get that shit on paper so that you can move forward and making improvements and not fall into poverty while doing it. Yeah, 100%. I believe that. That's a point that I am willing to absolutely agree with, because I think that for some of these people, definitely they need time and they need the ability. They need to be afforded the opportunity to do that. I have met people, and I thought that I was going to fall into extreme poverty when I was going through all my stuff. Like that was one of my biggest fears, was that I was going to have that I was going to go completely broke. And I don't have parents to lean on. I have parents. I don't have parents that I can lean on for financial help or stability. So I get that 100%. One thou. I get that. What are some other chronically ill YouTubers? The one that I just looked at, I feel like I just shouldn't like say their names because I don't want to like massively call people out. I don't want to start talking shit, because I don't know these people, so I don't want to be talking poorly about them like that. Because I get it. I get the YouTube game too. I understand the YouTube game and having to like make content or create thumbnails and titles that are like, captivating and stuff. So part of what like when people are making these videos, I think that I also have to take that into consideration, is that they're trying to captivate somebody and make them click on it. Sugimoto, yeah, it's scary. Imagine feeling deathly ill and being homeless because of it. Yeah, that part would be absolutely terrifying and terrible. But the sad part is that people really do go homeless from feeling deathly ill and not being able to do anything about their situation. Like there's in America, at least, this is one like liberal thing that I do agree with, but I don't think that like the politicians actually care, is that I think that healthcare should be free. I don't know how to make that happen. I think that healthcare needs to be more widely available to people and more accessible. And part of the issue there is getting enough people to practice medicine. That's part of the issue. Most people don't want to do all those years of school. God bless the ones that do. God bless those ones. Because it's definitely not my thing. I ain't doing it. You guys, like this video if you are liking it. If you're watching it right now, help push us in the algo. I really don't know why YouTube is not pushing my shit. I think that when I post a video this week, I'm going to try to post a video tomorrow or Tuesday. I was working on a video, but I really don't like it. So I'm going to delete it. I was working on a video. I just really don't like it. I really, really don't like it. So I think when I post my next video, I need you guys to let me know if you get dinged for it. If you get told about it. All right. So I think somebody just rang my doorbell, but I'm not sure. Hold on one second, guys. Interesting. When do I shave this? When do I shave this head of mine? You guys, give me some stuff to talk about. Ask me some questions. I had to release a podcast today, so I'm going to kind of like review clips and stuff while we're talking or while I'm on here. But yeah, I need to review these clips. Have you ever thought about making a meal prep vid? I think I have made a meal prep video. For me, I don't meal prep anymore, really. All I do, because I work mostly from home now, I'm at the gym for a couple hours a day. I mostly just like cook things in bulk. And so really the only thing that I cook in bulk is beef. So I just cook a bunch of beef. We have another. We use we use like different services for food. So we use Butcher Box, and then we use Just Meats. And Just Meats is already cooked food or already cooked meat that you just heat up in a pan or heat up in a microwave if you want, and then you throw it, throw it in your food. But otherwise, we use Butcher Box too, which just sends us a bunch of pounds of ground beef plus like ribeye steaks. And so we'll just like cook up 3 to 4 packets of 3 to 4 pounds of beef at a time. We have it for the week, and then we just dump it into our container. And then I just like eat grapes or dried fruit for the most part right now. Sometimes I'll eat some sourdough bread. But yeah, I don't do a lot of meal prepping in general, so there wouldn't really be a video for me to make. I'd just be literally showing you guys cooking 3 to 4 pounds of beef. There's a channel called The Vegan Gym. They do ones that give you the full nutrition profile, which is pretty nice if you're reaching for certain goals. Yeah, I think that that's awesome. I don't really concentrate that much on my nutrition anymore. Like the season of when I get back into competing, I think that would be a really cool, interesting thing for you guys to see. And actually, I'm getting ready to compete again right now. I decided to ditch the High Rocks competition mostly because I missed the sign up date, but I'm on the waiting list. But I missed the sign up date on the waiting list, and I am ditching the High Rocks, and I'm getting ready to do a qualifier for a big CrossFit comp. So long as I can stay healthy, it freaking hurt my back again. But as long as I can recover just fine, which I'm on the up and up. So long as I recover and I'm able to like continue being healthy, then I'm just gonna, maybe I'm gonna show more of that. I'm gonna show more, getting ready for CrossFit comp, and then tying that in with, the chronic illness thing, and like how to stay healthy and how to like keep it all tight and together. And then as I actually get ready for that competition after I qualify, that could be a really good idea, showing you guys how I how I take my nutrition more serious and stuff. But right now I just don't have my nutrition tight enough to even make a video out of it. And there's 2 things that I'm very hesitant with actually sharing with people. And that is my nutrition and my supplementation. And the only reason why I'm very hesitant to show that stuff or to like talk about it is because I don't want people taking supplements based on the things that I take. I don't think that that's how you should treat supplements. I think that you should treat it almost like medication. And then the second thing, nutrition, I don't want people like following my macros. I don't want people following my calories, because when I'm training, it's a lot different than a majority of people who are watching. My training is a lot different than a majority of people who watch. And so because we might have similar frame, or we might look similar or be similar in body weight, things of that nature, that doesn't mean by any means that you should be doing what I'm doing. Some people might need to eat far more than me because they have a higher metabolism. And then some people might have to do way less, might have to eat way less, So I think overall it's a pretty good idea, but it is one thing that I'm hesitant on sharing. If people are just interested in how I eat for the sake of the interest, then sure. But yeah, I did think about doing a video on how to structure diet protocols, like how to structure a diet or an eating regimen. I have thought about that. But man, if the majority of my clientele right now is POTS, that can get pretty dicey too. That can get pretty dicey. Do you feel like it completely works in place of MacBook? So I may be ending this live early. Dang, Andrew Tate is in trouble again. It's crazy. This fool just can't stay out of trouble. Ugh. I don't, this has nothing to do at all with pot syndrome, but one thing that I cannot stand is people who are not about that life or in the life, that aren't from the hood or whatever, that like act like they're from the hood. Oh, man. Does that throw me for a freaking loop, dude? So many, like, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Everyone that I know from the hood does not want to be in the hood and got out the hood for good reason. It's so many suburban people that are just, I don't know. So my coach just texted me. She was like, "Hey, how are you feeling?" Because I got injured again. Like, man, this will be the third week that I'm in the recovery of this injury. And I've noticed something, guys. If there's one thing that I've noticed, and we can relate this back to POTS, is that stressful time, like something that I've noticed about myself and something I've noticed about a lot of people with POTS. I'm going to relate mine to injury, but with people with POTS, and for sure, this definitely happened for me too. That a lot of people that I talk to that end up getting the POTS diagnosis, what it happened around was a big stressful event, or towards the end of like a stressful period of time in life. I've noticed that in a lot of people that I've worked with. And what I've been noticing about me even too is that I always get hurt around stressful periods of time. Always. It's weird. So like, think about it. You go through a lot of stress, your nervous system has a hard time kind of regulating itself, and then boom, something happens. It's weird. So what are you guys thinking, huh? We have any questions or anything? Let's see if this dude shoots me a DM. Doesn't just like my stuff. I'm working hard for my other channel right now, guys, and I have really tried to work hard for this channel to like, I'll be honest, I haven't been working as hard at this channel as of recently. I was supposed to have a guest on a couple weeks ago, And I was like, I told you guys that something happened in my life. And I just took some time. Just took some time, man. So now I'm like trying to get back on the up and up and get all my bearings back together. But I've been working really hard on my other channel because that's the one. That's the one. You know, this channel too. Like this channel, to be honest with you guys, is mostly yes, dude. Yes. This channel is mostly about trying to drive traffic to coaching and to help. This is about helping people, this channel. The other channel is about like adding value and, you know, in terms of like letting people hear from interesting people. This channel is more about like helping people, teaching people about exercise, the importance of exercise, especially the chronically ill community, nutrition, supplementation, chronic illness, you know, all these things. So yeah, it's all about that. And, you know, I enjoy coaching people, especially with chronic illness. And part of this channel is trying to get more clients and build up a bigger base. And I do have big plans for, for business with coaching and stuff in terms of like how to help more people and getting more coaches on board and things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling now. Anyway, guys, yeah, I think that I'm gonna hop off. It's Sunday. It's 12:33. It's not very many people watching this. Not very many people at all. I gotta focus on some other things right now. We have a family party happening in an hour and a half, and it's here at the house. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you are new. You can reach me in the links below. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me. Feel free to shoot me an email. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys later this week. Peace out. Goodbye.